Here's the thing that confuses me, though. The unions have said we will concede all the financial points that the current governor of Wisconsin is seeking, the contributions to the pension and health care and all the rest. We will give him every penny back. The only thing we don't think is fair is to confuse how we negotiate, the process of negotiating collectively with all the money we're willing to give them. What does one have to do with the other? They've conceded every one of the financial issues, and yet the governor seems to me to be fighting an ideological battle. Explain the connection between collective bargaining and money when they've given on all the money issues.
Well, first off, they didn't give in until very, very recently. When the governor campaigned on this. The governor has not come a Johnny or a Scott come lately to this particular issue. He campaigned on it, and he says we're going to have givebacks. And when he got elected, the unions told him flat out that they would not in any way give back. And so the governor was faced with a situation. I got to have this money give back, and they're not going to negotiate with me. And if you remember correctly, and you probably didn't know this, but they tried to rush through contracts before the new legislature took over. The governor asked for them not to do that. They still came into session. They didn't have all their votes counted, so they lost. But they tried to push through a 2-year contract that was going to force the governor's hand. And so he responded with this particular bill. So the connection is, in order to have the concessions, he had to come in heavy-handedly with a proposal, which he has done, in order to get them to concede. Now they're ready to concede, but he says now it's too late. We're going to go forward with the proposal because not only do I need it at the state level, we have to give relief at the local levels because they have serious problems. I'm going to have to cut back on school aids, the amount of money that the state's going to send back for schools. I'm going to have to cut back, the governor is saying, on the money that I'm going to send back to local units of government. And you're not going to be able to do your necessary job as governing at the local levels without also concessions. And without these kind of concessions given and having the support of having collective bargaining as an issue, you're not going to be able to get the unions to negotiate. Therefore, it is a connection from the state as all the way down through the local units of government.
Well, Governor, I'm glad you used the word heavy-handed, not I, so that was your concession in terms of the characterization of it. But more importantly, now the unions have conceded on every one of those financial term issues that is material to the governor's budget, and they have said, we understand we are in this and we will give back as much as needed to make this fair and reasonable. You negotiated with the unions through collective bargaining, which I, when I was governor, actually thought was a better way to do it, and I think, I want to talk for you, but most governors have felt that same way. But let me ask you this question. If it were a standalone bill, just devoid of the budget issues, would you vote yes, as a legislator, would you vote yes or no to eliminate collective bargaining for the unions right now?
Well, first off, this bill does not eliminate collective bargaining, and I would not vote for it. But this bill doesn't either. But the premise that you're going under is that if the give back is at the state level, all things are solved. It is not going to be solved because the local units of government have got just as serious a financial problem as the state government. And the only way for the local units of government, the cities, the counties, the school districts are able to perform is to have these give backs and be able to ask the unions at the local level to give back as well. And without this bill, the governor does not believe that he would be able to get the kind of concessions at the local units of government that the local units will need in order to support their ongoing governing proposals.